Often our culture teaches us that the goal is everything, and when I'm talking about these goals that I have, I'm not like, oh yeah, I want to get there, I want to get to that place. The process is everything, and these goals that I've chosen, the thing that I'm most excited about really is the process. I'm excited about the process of getting there, not just the actual act of reaching that goal. I've watched so many 2020 goals, my 2020 habits, videos in the last month and a half. So I figured let me make my own. Hi, I'm Andrea. If you're new to me, I create content and programs for people who have a vision for change in the world, or at the very least know that a different reality is possible for us as humans and for the planet. If that's you, you're in the right place. Everything I do is rooted in an understanding that you are both the system and the revolution, and what you do with who you are and what you have matters. And that is why today we are talking about my goals, but not just my goals, because I want to make sure that this has a lot of value for you, and we're also talking about kind of my process for getting to these goals. This connects up for me because I think so many of us that want to change the world or want to make a difference in the world, some of us feel like it's not okay for us to have certain goals, or we judge them as frivolous, materialistic, shallow. And I think it's okay for us to go after the things that we want. It's okay for us to have dreams or a certain experience of life and to go after that. Even while the world feels like it's falling apart, we can have both. We can do both. Okay, so let's get into it. We are almost at the end of January, and it feels a little bit silly of me to be making this video at this time, but I wanted to go ahead and do it because I think there's a lot of pressure at this time of year for us to know exactly what it is that we want and what it is that we're going to be up to in the world for the full year, for a full 365 days, and to know that as soon as New Year's hits, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I've been really spending this month, but really since I've been thinking about my goals and what I have on my plate this year since October. I've been thinking about it, and I just settled in on these are the core things for me, and I'm going to share that with you. But let me share more about my process. So first, when I was looking at what I wanted, what my goals were for this year, I looked at very simply and logistically. Is that a word? It is today. I looked at what is on my plate this year. I looked at what is on my calendar, what am I committed to, what plans are already set in stone. And starting there, I looked at how do I want those events or those projects to go? How do I want to feel while I am working on them or while I'm in them? How do I want that to go? What do I need to make that happen? So for example, I know that I have a few projects that I'm working on that will dramatically increase my level of visibility in the public. And when I'm looking at that, I know that I want that experience to feel that I want to feel really grounded while I'm in that I want to feel really present and clear on what the point of all of that is, what the point of these projects are. So while I was looking at that, I came out with a few core goals that feel like it will really support me as I am becoming more and more visible in the general landscape of the internet. Next, I looked at more specific areas of my life. I'm going to read these off my computer so I don't miss any, but looking at my family, my friends, my community and work and or my business, spirituality, my body, finances, and creativity in general. And in each of these, looking at where I'd like to get to with those or what I want to do in those areas. So specifically looking at with my family, what do I want there? What do I want different? How do I want to grow with them? What do I want to experience with them? And looking at each of those pieces, it doesn't have to be a deep thing. It wasn't really a deep thing. I was just looking at, so in this area, is there anything that I really want more of? Okay, cool. Write that down. And with all of these, I got a lot of ideas, a lot of possibilities. I wrote down a lot more than what I actually am about to share with you in this video. But that's the starting point. So you just write down like all of these possibilities and ideas for what you want to do. And then once you have that list, you can look at it and kind of sift through and see what's here that I really want to make a priority this year. And for me, I chose the ones that really get to the core of what I want to feel and do this year, and the ones that feel the most accessible to me, especially because I'm already constantly thinking about them. I've already been like talking to people about them. I've had multiple moments where I'm like, oh yes, like I want to do that, and it's already at the top of my mind, so it won't be hard for me to just make a plan and show up and do that plan and make it happen. And that's a key thing, and I think that's why vision boards are so popular in the like personal growth, personal development space. Because what a vision board does is remind you, oh yeah, that's something that I want. Oh yeah, that's something that I'm working towards. That's why I'm putting in this work over here that maybe doesn't feel super exciting or really good, but that is what I'm working towards. And I don't have a vision board. I'm still trying to decide if I ever want to make one. I have the materials for it, but I've never really needed a vision board because I really only go after like the things that I want, the things that I'm holding as goals for myself, I'm already always thinking about. So I don't need to visualize it in order to go after it and create it for myself. It's here. It's here. So that's my process. And again, I didn't come to this all at once. I've been thinking about this since October. So if you are in a place and you're watching this, maybe you're watching this right as I am posting it, or maybe you're watching this 6 months into 2020, or maybe you're watching this towards the end of 2020. But wherever you are, it's not too late to set some goals for what you want to accomplish through this year and beyond. So share with me in the comments. I would love to know what's one goal that you have for yourself this year that you're really excited about. Okay, so let's get into my goals for 2020. And I also want to share my word for the year. I'll do that at the end. My first goal is something that I have been dreaming up with my cousin for about like the past year. And it's what I'm calling Annie's Legacy, where our great grandma, we have had the blessing of growing up with her and still having her in our lives. She is the light of my life, and she has a lot of grandchildren and also great grandchildren, which is me, and she now has a great great grandchild. I have this vision, we've been talking about it, for this photo shoot slash I want to get some video as well, because I love to make a video of this. I want to get together all of her lineage, my grandma and her sister and brothers, and my mom and aunts, and my cousins, everybody that is under her in our like family tree, and take some beautiful portraits of us like out in the woods somewhere. It can't be too woodsy, but I want to be like out around some trees and have us all in white and take some beautiful pictures, like very like I have an image that's like very much from that scene in Lemonade with Beyonce, where like she got together all of these beautiful people and women and little girls, and they were all in white and they were on a plantation. And I don't want to be on a plantation because that's triggering, but I want that kind of like vibe. So that's something that I really want to do. I'm hoping to be able to do that sometime in like May or September. We'll see. My next goal is to write a book. People have been telling me to write a book since I was like 16, and I've tried. I've started. And I have not finished. I have in the works a book that I am excited about. I would really love to, at the very least, originally I had it as write and publish the book. We'll see about that, but for sure I want to have a full manuscript by the end of this year. The book will be about like what I talk about at the beginning of all of my videos, pretty much, that you are the system and the revolution, and really digging into what that means and how to take action with that. So I'm excited about that. And it's terrifying. My third goal is to take a real vacation. So I have done a lot of traveling, but I don't feel like I've had like a good work-free, and when I say work, I mean my business, but also just like it doesn't feel like work, like it doesn't feel hard. I've traveled like last year in 2019, I got to go to Morocco with my best friends and my aunt and grandma and my mom, and that was beautiful, but that was a tough trip. It definitely was not relaxing, and I just really want a week in like Greece or something where I'm not thinking about work, really. I'm just chilling. I just really want a good like 7 days of no work and no trials and tribulations. Just relaxation, joy, pleasure, hopefully near a big body of water. That would be fabulous. I really want to do that. My next goal is to adopt a puppy. So this is one of those goals that I have been talking about for a while. I'd say, yeah, around like a year or two. But I always, when I was little, me and my brother and sister, we always wanted a dog. And my parents were like, absolutely not. So now that I'm an adult, apparently, and I can do whatever the fuck I want a puppy. I want to adopt a dog. And that's something that will be happening in 2020. I have no doubt about it. Just a matter of when. My next goal is to get a few of the tattoos that I have been planning on and sitting with for a while. One of them is I want to get a matching tattoo with my best friend, and get one with something that I had my granny write, my great grandma, and then one from my dad. All of my tattoos, I have 7 tattoos. And all of them have to do with people, because relationships are everything to me. Next, I want to feel strong in my body. Like I don't think a lot of people know this about me. If you know me, I'm an athlete. Like I consider myself an athlete. My entire childhood, I was playing sports, especially when I was younger. I was playing soccer. I was playing flag football. Basketball was my favorite sport. I like the way you dribble up and down the court. Basketball was like the consistent one all through high school, but I was also like really into badminton, and is that how you say it? Badminton. And I got into racquetball a little bit, but I was just like, I enjoy moving. Oh yeah, I did cross country when I was in like 6th grade. I think I was in track for a little bit. I've been all over the place, and I don't treat my body like it's an athlete. Right now, I don't feel strong. Like I think that is when I say that I'm an athlete, it's that feeling of like feeling strong. And since stopping playing basketball in high school, I have struggled with how to go about consistently moving and conditioning my body to feel the way that I want it to feel. And then also just all this stuff about like fat phobia and not wanting a driving force for moving my body and exercising and everything to be trying to lose weight, because fuck that. So I want to feel strong in my body, and there are a few things that I'm doing right now to kind of see how I want to go about that. You know, working from home and having so much of my work really be on like calls and on my computer. I live such a sedentary lifestyle, and I don't have any judgments against that for anybody else, but for me, this is one of those that connects to my growing visibility. I need to feel well and strong in my body in order to grow into the person and grow my business to where I want it to grow. My next goal is to read or listen to at least 3 fiction books, because I haven't read a fiction book for real, for like a full book, since I was maybe like 15, 16. It's been a while. It's been a while. I read a lot of nonfiction books, a lot of business or spiritual or personal growthy books. I've read so many, but fiction books I haven't read. And I used to just like devour fiction books when I was younger. So I want to read at least 3. Next, I want to write and record a song that I feel proud of. So real quick, because I'm getting into too much explanation about these. When I was younger, I used to write songs all the time by myself, with my friends, with my cousins. And a lot of the songs that came out of that were really good. They're really good. And I haven't written a song for real since then, so I really want to get back into that. Next, I want to buy a car that is safe, reliable, exciting, and aesthetically pleasing. And that feels good to my body. So right now I'm living in Chicago. This is my favorite city in the world. And I don't really have a need for a car right now, but I am making a big transition this year. I am moving to a completely different state. We'll talk about that in a different video. I'm not going to give away too much details about that right now because we have a lot to talk about that. But I'm moving to a place where I'm going to need a car. That's going to be my primary mode of transportation. Like, I'm not going to be able to use the CTA, the public transportation system, or Uber or Lyft all the time. I won't be able to do that. So I need a car. Next, I have this goal, and this is something that I just generally hold. It's not just 2020 specific. I want to cultivate stronger friendships with the people that I'm friends with, and then also want to intentionally make new friends. So I'm moving to a completely different place, a place where I don't know anybody, and I have no connections, and I'm excited about that. And this goal that I have, I need to make sure that I have it in my mind that when I move, and also before I move, I want to make sure I have super deep and sturdy and loving friendships with the people that I am already connected to support me in that transition. And as I'm going through that transition, that I'm like really going after connecting with new people and building new friendships. My next goal is that I want 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now, as I'm recording this, I have like 140. So this goal is not necessarily 2020 specific as well. And not because I don't think I can do it by the end of 2020, but because I think it could absolutely happen way before the end of 2020. That just knowing the kind of content that I have plans to create and that I'm creating right now, and where I'm headed, and the reality that there's not a lot of people on YouTube right now talking about the things that I really want to talk about through my channel. It's absolutely possible that I could reach 100,000. And I'm just putting it out into the universe. Would love that sooner rather than later. And the 100,000 is not this like arbitrary number. It's not just for the clout, I guess, that I would get with that. It's more so every single person that clicks that subscribe button, which do that if you're feeling this, every single person that clicks that subscribe button is one more person influenced by this work. And it's really about that. It's really about each person that I influence through my words and my work, or that my business influences, or the people that are working in my business influence. That person knows 100 people and regularly interacts with those people over the course of like a month. And what they bring to those relationships might influence those people, and so on and so forth. And so it's not so much about like, I want to have 100,000 subscribers. It's every single person that says yes is potentially another 100,000 people that are influenced. My next goal is that I really want to create some merch. Like, I really want to have a mug or a sweater that say these specific things on them that I'm not going to share right here, but I want like a comfy sweatshirt and a mug that say certain things on them. So I really want to create that this year. My next goal is to say yes to more opportunities for fun. So I am, little story time real quick. I am currently working with a voice doula, Caitlin June, who is amazing. And we'll be working on something, and every once in a while she'll be like, and have fun with it. And as we're like about to do something, about to sing something or whatever, and I'll be like, oh yeah, fun, that's a thing, right? I think I just don't make enough time or space for myself to just have fun, to just like do things that are enjoyable, especially that aren't necessarily work related. So I just want to have more fun this year. My next goal is to fully form and launch my organization, Whole Self Liberation. I'm so excited about that. I'm not going to go into that too much, but I just want to make sure that that was put in here. And my last goal is to add pieces to my wardrobe that make me feel like a baddie. And also like a comfy baddie. Hashtag comfy baddie. Like I really want more pieces in my wardrobe that just make me feel good and look good. Period. And then my word for the year that I am holding and cultivating throughout the next 11 months is trust. When I came across this word as I was thinking about like what word do I want to hold this year? A tear pal. I have just been wanting to trust myself more, and I have been learning to do that over the last 2 to 3 years especially. But I'm also in a place right now where I'm learning to trust my body, learning to trust the hits of intuition that I get, and ultimately learning to trust God or spirit or my ancestors and all of the above. Like really trusting in where I feel like I'm being guided. And even if things feel uncomfortable, a lot of these things on my list of goals feels really uncomfortable. It feels uncomfortable to even just say that this is what I want on this video, but it's where I'm being guided, and I'm trusting that this is the path that I need to go down. Okay, so again, I would love to hear from you about what's one goal that you have that you're really excited about for this year. And if this video inspired, affirmed, or challenged you in any way, please make sure to like and subscribe and let me know in that way. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about all of this. With some of these, I'll be sharing a bit of my process through vlogs and other videos throughout the course of this year. So if you want to see that, stick around. And until next time, go forth and be the revolution. I don't know. It's gonna come out really pretty. Okay, bye for real.